Okay, so these uncertainties which are caused by external factors and as well as technology disruptions gets managed in various multiple ways, right? She spoke about building alternatives, he spoke about building flexibility into planning, and you spoke about creating an ecosystem and so on, right? Now, whatever the disruption happens, there is something called core in a business which will keep going and which will not change, right? So tactically we might do a lot of changes to the business to manage the situation, but something which is core to the business keeps going in spite of all these uncertainties and disruptions. What is that core you wanted to keep untouched, and when you are trying to change the peripheral part of the business to meet the uncertainty?
I think the vision of the company, like if you're very clear of your foundation and what is your vision and mission, why you exist, if that is clear and you can still adapt to what is happening around, your strategies could be something around what you want to achieve. There are external factors impacting it in some way, you can build your strategies around it. The end goal, basically.
For us, core of our business is messaging. So whether it is messaging through one, second, third, fourth, whatever comes up, it's always going to be messaging. It is basically connecting businesses to people. That's the core of our business. That doesn't change. How they are getting connected keeps changing as revolution happens.
I'll give you a perfect example just to support that. Everybody's heard of Procter & Gamble, right? Remember what Procter & Gamble's business was when it started? Making candles. Because their purpose was to cater to the masses. And that time there was no electricity, so they used to cater to masses with candles. Today they make things which everybody uses, mostly masses. They're not into luxury products. So I completely agree that, you know, what is it that your business model is serving, and that business could change over a period of time.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the purpose of business.
Exactly. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? If that the answer to that is known, then there are various ways to solve that problem.
Actually, what we quote the example of ITC. Now earlier ITC was doing something. Now it's totally different, diversified. Known to the cigarette. Now it's totally in different market. Of course, it's still that business is going on, but it's very, very limited. And the purpose is ultimately we have to take what is the core value or what is the vision and what is the purpose of the organization for which they are established in existence in the market. Like we are in the banking sector, our purpose is to take the deposit and to lend the money, which will help and give the financial power to the people, the society, and it will reach freely and without any hurdle to the each man of the society, so everybody can have the empowered. We are in the service industry, we have to take care of the what value we are adding to our customers with the caring our purpose and taking care of our purpose and as well as our stakeholders.
You know, I'll give you again one example from my organization. So I come from Egon Zehnder. I work for Egon Zehnder now. Our main business is recruitment, and we are a global company, probably the big four in the recruiting, European headquartered. So when LinkedIn was getting launched, it gave a lot of sleepless nights to our executive committee saying, will we be out of business? And that's a disruption which we could foresee. And then we said, how is it that we adopt the business practice where LinkedIn does not become a disruption, but it becomes a part of our ecosystem? And today we actually have LinkedIn as one of our big support to enabler to actually get access to the candidates. So it's all about how you modify, change, visualize your business model, X years from now. Is there going to be a next LinkedIn or a next disruption? The answer is yes. As long as you can adapt to that, and as long as you can say that in spite of all this, I will still have my business model intact with or without a little bit of modification, and this person will have a share of the pie. I think that's a long-term vision, probably.
Yeah.
I think in terms of your competitive advantage, if you're able to identify and maintain that and sustain that for a long period of time, protect that. For example, in airline business, loyalty programs, no matter what happens, the kind of value that you provide to the customers, that competitiveness, if you're able to sustain that for a long period of time, no matter what happens around that, you are not selling, somebody is demanding. So I think maintain that competitive advantage to the extent. So that's the core, what you're talking about.
But it's also reasonable to realize that maybe your core has changed.
Correct.
So never forget that sometimes the core which you think is your core is no longer required. Keep that in mind. Otherwise, if you keep following your core, but that won't exist.
Okay, so one thing what came up well across when you discussed was one is the purpose of the business remains the same, irrespective of all the disruption happens around. Number two, most of you spoke about the purpose being the core, and most of your purpose is to serve the customer, right? And satisfying the customer remains same irrespective of all these disruptions, and meeting the requirement of the customer remains the same, right? Okay.